It's with great pleasure that I have Jennifer from GRIF with me this morning. We're going to be talking about what GRIF is, the market, and a little bit about what we're going to be doing in the future together. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a delight to be sitting here in your lovely offices.
Thank you.
I'm very well, thank you. Off the back of obviously summer holidays like everybody else, but I feel like Dubai just doesn't slow down anymore. The city's so fast-paced.
I completely agree. I've been in business now with Food People for 8 years, and it's the first time we've had a consistent summer. The brands that we've been working with on the hospitality side have shown a real appetite to get people in before the crazy season. I've been telling people to do this for so many years, and finally they've listened. So it's been a good summer for us. So tell us about GRIF. I mean, most people in the industry know you and GRIF, but for those that don't, tell us about GRIF.
So GRIF is the Global Restaurant Investment Forum. Basically, it was launched 10 years ago because we saw there was a gap that nothing was bringing together kind of restaurant investors, brands, operators, and also nothing really that was international. And so the idea is to create a community of people across borders who can help each other grow, develop, invest, and get inspired.
What an opportunity at the moment, because it just seems like M&A as a topic is at the front of everyone's mind. Restaurants are looking to raise capital, others are looking to exit in this market. Obviously, Dubai is now a destination. We're not asking for brands anymore. They all want to come here.
Yes.
So it's a superb opportunity for people to be a part of GRIF. In terms of, you mentioned about opening up borders, bridging borders. What countries is GRIF present in? How are you going to work it?
So GRIF at the moment is going through kind of a transition stage as well. I basically left the company where GRIF was started and took my baby with me.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. So it's very exciting, but as you know, terrifying being an entrepreneur. Lots of sleepless nights.
And that never changes, just so you know. Yeah, my sleep over the years, like, it's just always like this.
Yeah, that's just, I thought that was just kids, but no, adding in kind of a business as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's really exciting because I think for me, what I'm really keen to do is create a community. I'm interested in a kind of curated, more boutique events and experiences that allow people the chance to really, connect. At the moment, we've got GRIF coming up in Dubai, which is really exciting.
It is.
Very quickly. It's 6th to 8th of October. And then next year, we're looking at a couple of different markets, which I'm not going to say too much about at the moment. I've learned my lesson on that. But I think the whole idea is really to have touch points in different parts of the world, because we are a truly international community and we want to continue to foster those relationships across the globe and help people connect.
Do we have a location for Dubai yet?
Yes. So I'm happy to announce 25 Hours. We're doing the 25 Hours Hotel. We're also being hosted by Seven Management at Antica, which is quite cool.
Very cool.
And then DET is curating our lunch and coffee experiences.
I love 25-hour Hotel.
It's great, isn't
We've
it?
done a few events there,
Yeah.
and the way they do it, the service, the quality of the product is so good. So I'm sure it'll be amazing.
What I really love about it and why it seemed a natural fit is because it really speaks to what the message of hotels of the future, where they're engaging with the community, where they have a really nicely curated F&B offerings. And also, obviously, you've got Rikas Hospitality, who are our homegrown heroes.
Yeah.
They are also great supporters of the event, and they're hosting a reception for us. And I'm pleased to announce that Joey and the Main are going to be hosting another reception for us as well.
Incredible.
Yes, we're
I was in the
celebrating.
Main the other night,
Is it?
actually.
I love the Main.
Yeah, such a good venue.
But what I think is great, so just quickly, is that, what we're doing with celebrating 10 years of the Main. And I think that's where we're at in the market now. And I think that's something that we should all take a moment to celebrate, because now it's not just about new openings, but it's also about businesses that have built themselves here and then gone overseas.
Yeah.
Or really created a market for themselves here.
And not only that, been stable throughout that time.
Exactly.
Like to get through, without talking about COVID, it was 5 years ago now, we were locked down, and I think it's a huge attribute to some of the concepts and some of the creators in this market that have stood the test of time. And as you mentioned, and now going overseas, people want our brands, which is something, again, I'm not a restaurateur, but I'm definitely in the industry. And it makes me feel really proud that we have these concepts now that we can show off at places like GRIF to the wider world, and all eyes on Dubai.
Exactly. And I think also it's interesting because you've got groups so we've got Antonio Gonzalez who's speaking, and you've got groups like Sunset that are buying up brands overseas and buying up groups overseas as well. Dubai really has become kind of a hub for investment and taking brands outwards, as well as hubs for international operations.
What's really exciting coming from a people point of view, it gives people more opportunity. I mean, everybody wants to be in Dubai at the moment. Everyone's looking at this country and there's a lot of talent coming here, but it just means that when they're here, they also have an opportunity to go into Europe or to go into South America or to go into these other destinations where these brands are expanding. And I think one of the biggest challenges over the years for talent in this market has been development. And what am I going to do next? By these brands expanding globally, it's a new story to tell, and it really gives people coming to this market, looking at these brands like Ricast, like Sunset, like Tasha's, just something else to go for, and I think it's super exciting.
And I think what we're seeing as well now is that internationally brands want to come into this market, not just to be in Dubai, but they come in here because they want it to be a showcase to the world.
Yeah.
So in the same way brands used to go into kind of Manhattan or London, because then it was great exposure in a marquee kind of city. Now Dubai is really important because they recognize that there's so many different nationalities coming here as a touch point to then expand into India, to then expand into Asia, to go into America. It's really important.
You know, those markets, Southeast Asia in particular, huge markets. Pakistan, India, the population's there, and they're all crying out for great brands. I've got quite a few friends in the industry that are really eyeing up. I know I was with Stephen at Yoke the other week, and he was telling me about Bombird in Pakistan, and it's just absolutely pumping.
It's crazy.
So again, being here in Dubai, like you said, it just gives brands access to those markets. Let's just talk about UK and the UAE, and as we mentioned earlier on, we were talking off camera, there's a lot of people coming here, and I've read some articles recently, particularly on LinkedIn, where like people are really defending the UK market. What are your thoughts on, like, I suppose, the challenges between the two markets, the differences between the two markets, maybe the service levels between the two markets? Do you still think they're on par? Do you think London's better? Do you think Dubai's better? How do you feel?
Well, I think looking at it from kind of my perspective, I think one of the things that's so interesting, the UK, if you look at investment and you look at restaurant groups, has previously really been driven by private equity. And I think a lot of groups have been challenged because of that. Here, you haven't really had that private equity get involved to the same extent. I think that it's also opened up opportunities because a lot of private equity is now looking to get out of some of those UK investments. So I think it has opened up opportunities for groups from this part of the world to make interesting acquisitions in the UK. And also, I think for groups that have great funding behind them to get some great foothold into the UK markets, because there's a lot of challenge in some cases to kind of reinvest or to get the financing to grow. I think that part of it has been quite challenging for UK restaurant operators. But I think as a market, I mean, the UK and London's always, everyone loves it. I mean, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no, it's one of the top cities in the world. I mean, as I'd say, Dubai is now as well. But I think London has a very different, it's got history, and we're developing that history here. But if you go into some places that have kind of that level of service and that kind of history behind them and that kind of depth of talent, and not to say that we're not developing that here, but I think you've got it at a different level, especially at the fine dining side.
Yeah.
It's difficult to replicate.
Very difficult. But there are some that are doing amazingly well. Like, just got back from spending some time in Mauritius and stayed at like a beautiful hotel, but it just didn't have the edge that Dubai offers. And it made me realize, like, we are so blessed to live in this country and to be, in the service levels and the hospitality and the food, and everything about it is just really top notch. And I think it's not until you go away you realize, wow, we've got something so special in Dubai. So it was a bit of a humbling moment as well, when you kind of go, wow, I'm just not used to this.
But I think that's the whole problem, is that Dubai has geared itself up for that.
Yeah.
So they've put in place kind of legislation, they've put in place the infrastructure to create this hospitality culture where the city's kind of driven on it. And you have the best in the world that come here. I mean, also, you look at the fit out, it's insane.
It is.
The amount that people spend on CapEx here compared to other parts of the world as a starting point is really eye-watering.
It's huge.
It's huge.
So let's talk about the future. Finally, after so many years, we are now working together, which is super exciting. There'll be a lot more to come, but Food People is super proud to announce that we're going to be collaborating with Jennifer and GRIF to really help push the event forward and to really, like you said, create a bigger and wider and more connected community. So there'll be a lot more to come on that.
But you have exciting news as well.
Yes.
So tell me about your exciting news.
Okay. In the background, we've been working on a new venture. It's actually going to be called Project People. So we'll have Food People, which is based on talent and supporting talent across not only the GCC, but we've actually done projects now in 25 countries around the world. For many, many years, and Luke and I have wanted to always do something else that adds more strength and gives more to the industry. We thought of the idea to bring project people to the market, and essentially that is a advisory, consultancy and connecting vehicle for the food industry. On the advisory side, that is more about supporting the future of food. So we work with startups grown in the UAE and we support them. It might be trying to get them to a 5-year exit. It might be trying to get them into other countries, or just really helping them with their kind of strategy to grow and compete. And then on the consultancy side, that's your sort of typical consultancy model where we work with the full supply chain of food. But the gap that we saw was not only to help build a strategy or fix a problem, but actually hold the hand of the business and walk them through the implementation. And I think that's really what has been missing from this market. A lot of consultancy firms create whatever is required, they hand it over to the business, and then the business just either isn't ready for it, or there's no one within that business that can really drive that forward. So that's where we see the opportunity. And then on the connecting side, it's really about connecting brands, market entry, maybe finding someone, a new distributor, or even a manufacturer across the region. So that's Project People. It will be going live in the next few weeks, and that is myself, Luke, Nadine Ben Shafi, who I know you know very well.
Yeah,
she was founder of Tocado and exited to Kotopi, and Johan Pearson, who has also been a close friend for many, many years. We worked alongside him at Pure Harvest, building that business, and he's joined as a partner as well, and he will spearhead kind of the supply chain, continuous improvement, manufacturing side. We feel we've got a really strong team. We're super excited to bring it to the market.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That means that when we support GRIF, all of those data points and all of that insight and information, we'll be able to package up and really share some of those key insights with your audience so that they have kind of first-hand visibility of what's going on in the market.
I think that's really important because for me, that's one thing that the market does lack is data.
Yeah.
I really do try with GRIF to deliver as much kind of data-led presentations or information as possible, because I think that's something that the market is looking for.
100%, and it has to be live data. There are some amazing events across the country and across the GCC. One of the key frustrations that come out of that is that the data is typically 6, 12, 18 months old sometime, and this market moves so quick that
fast.
Data becomes outdated very, very quickly. So hopefully with the insights and the audience that we have, as well as what GRIF has, we can really give more visibility to operators across the country and the wider GCC.
That would be great.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
When is GRIF again?
GRIF is the 6th to 8th of October, 25 Hours Hotel. Have a look at www.grif.com for more information.
Feel free to reach out to me as well. If you don't know Jennifer, I can point you in the right direction, and hopefully we see you at GRIF. Bye.
Bye.